Suppose we better start, haven't we? Yes, everybody here now? Yes, good. Hands up if you're not here. Lovely. Welcome to our general meeting, which we sort of have once a year, but really it's when Martin nags me that we've got to do it. Thank you all for coming. You've all got an agenda. So we're going to go into everything's going to be pretty brief, but if you do want to ask a question or say anything, as you are members, you have every right to. Please indicate it with a hand up, but please keep it brief if you do have a question. A quick review of the past year. We have, as I think I said in the newsletter, the Christmas newsletter, I think we've done pretty well at keeping the flag traditional song research flying. Some of us went to the Limerick conference last year, as I wrote out last June, organised by ourselves and Limerick University. We had a broadside extra day in Dublin in October. We had our usual broadside day meeting in London in February. Today is our 54th fortnightly or monthly meeting. So we've had literally hundreds of presentations, really good ones, most of them. And as you know, they're nearly all up on YouTube. We helped with the Vaughan Williams conference that Estes ran in November. Some of our papers, some of the presentations at these meetings have been published by the Ballad Partners, especially the volume called Thirsty Work. The Trad Song discussion list, the newsletter that Martin sends out, our Facebook presence, which we'll talk about in a minute, run by Cara O'Brien. All of those contribute, I think, to a quite lively discussion area for our topic, for our field. And we've, as we'll say later on, we've given some bursaries to younger researchers to go to conferences. So put all that together in the last year, I think we've done pretty damn well. And I hope you'll all agree with what we've done. Anybody want to say anything about the last year? I haven't seen any hands, because I can't see any hands, of course, because the screen is up there, so I'll carry on. We're going to go on to the financial position with Peter.
Okay. All right. I think Martin's now put the accounts for the year ended 31st of December 2022 on the screen, so you should be able to see that quite clearly. I'll just very briefly run through those. As you can see, the opening balance on the 1st of January 2022 was £2,525.61. In the early months of the year, we had our friends of TSF donations being made, and this came to £1,484.23. £1,081 of this came in the main from bank transfers, with the £491 being received via PayPal. But bear in mind that PayPal, although it's very efficient and very effective, it does deduct a commission at source, which this year came to £20.21. So the total income from our friends of TSF donation period was £1,484.23. So I think that's congratulations, a thank you all round. The income side of the accounts also showed a donation of £50 from Cirencester Archaeological Society following a piggy bank ride on our Zoom facility when they needed a helping hand. So you can see the total income for the year there came to £1,534.23. Now our expenditure has been well contained, with £380 being spent on web, Zoom and administrative costs, £230 in support of 2 bursaries, which Steve mentioned a few seconds ago, and a £200 payment to sister organisation, the Ballad Partners. So our balance at the end of 2022 was £3,247.94. Just perhaps a couple of points of interest. Income increased slightly on the year by 3.5%, which is good, but our expenditure increased by 13% on the year, largely through that donation to Ballard Partner. Nothing to worry about too much there. Expenditure is likely to increase this coming year, not surprisingly. There's already been a slight increase in web and Zoom fees, but nothing significant. But the accounts do show that we are in a good financial situation, and I would suggest viable for the coming year and fit for purpose for whatever comes our way in the next 12 months. I can answer any questions, hopefully, if people have any.
Anybody have any questions? No, I think
That's fine, thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter, and thanks for your work during the year doing the finances.
You're welcome.
Right, we're going to move on to membership. Unfortunately, Sean can't be with us. Sean is our membership secretary, so Martin is going to give us a quick rundown on the membership.
Yeah, apologies from Sean, but she's been doing a good job. Those of you who have been in contact with her, I'm sure, will have found her the friendly face of TSF, unlike the rest of us old blokes. And we have currently 294 subscribed members, subscription being that they're signed up to receive the newsletter. That constitutes membership of the Traditional Song Forum. That number does go up and down a little bit. People obviously are joining in a steady trickle. We had another 4 in the past 2 weeks. But people do leave as well when they're fed up with us. And that's okay too. Unless they join, they don't know how good we are. And so that number is steady, as I say. We're hovering around £300 over the last couple of years. Moving on to talk about Friends of TSF. We've had so far, Peter's already told you about last year. This year's donations are not very different so far. We've had 41 people who between them have donated £1,373 up until this month. So that again looks pretty healthy. We do hope that eventually in this year we will get some live meetings going, and that will of course require more money than we've been spending in the last year or so. But for now, I think we'll remain in a healthy position. Talking briefly about the media, the website is still running. I've pretty much rewritten that completely recently. The only thing that I'm conscious that needs to be done to it is the file of articles that we've got really is getting a bit long in the tooth, and we're not seeing any new articles coming in. So I'd welcome your views, probably separately to this meeting, on whether we should jettison that section of the website, because the information there is no longer totally reliable. Otherwise, I don't think we see huge numbers of people coming to the website. At some point in the future, I'd love to find someone to take over running the website, at which stage we would probably try and convert it to a blog rather than to have what you might regard as a traditional website. A trad song group is well used. Lots of good discussions going on there and lots of information carried across. Zoom has worked pretty well for us over the last few years. We've more or less got the hang of it now, and we see fewer problems, although occasionally we'll get a speaker who will present us with a new challenge, which is great fun. And then on Facebook, Cara really does a fantastic job. Our Facebook page is now being followed by, it says 1,247 people. And her little novelty item that she puts in every so often, this time it was the question, what is your favorite spring song? That was posted on the 9th of April and was read by 639 people, with several responses coming as a result. So that just about covers the media. I'll just put up those statistics for you so you can just see those, and hand back to Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Martin, and thank you for your work on the technological side, the website, and running these meetings. We couldn't do it without you. But my question really is, who on earth are these people on Facebook? 1,247 people. Who are they? It's lovely to know that we're getting to people, but I'm astonished. But then I don't use Facebook, so I would be. And thank you again to the friends of the TSF. We really wouldn't be able to do it without your donations. We like to keep everything as free as possible, and we can only do it because some people bankroll us, basically. So thank you again to those people. So election of office holders. As you'll know, I'm the chair. Martin is secretary, administrator, call him what you like, the engine, he runs the engine. Sean is the membership secretary. Peter is the treasurer. Those are the 4 official office holders. And then we have Elaine, who helps with the, she's the meetings secretary, I think is what we call her. And Cara, as you've just heard, is the Facebook officer. Now, we haven't had anybody volunteering or being volunteered. So I'm going to have to presume that all those office holders are willing to to stand again and are elected, because nobody else is standing against them. However, if anybody does want to volunteer themselves, or now or for next year, or even to invent a new office that they could fulfill, please don't be shy. Eventually, we're going to need some new people. So, as I say, don't be backward in coming forward, as they say. The coming year.
I propose all those office holders are re-elected.
Oh, all right then. Thank you, Derek. That's a proposal. Well,
seconded.
As there's nobody standing against us, we are elected nem.con, I think it's the word. But thank you for your confidence, Derek and George. The coming year, we don't have one of these TSF meetings. We don't have a normal monthly meeting in May, because we have our study day in Gloucester. As Martin has said, it's we're trying to return to in-person meetings. So I hope that a lot of you are going to come to that, but be aware that it's not going to be streamed. So you do have to come to the meeting. Well, that may be recorded. Is that right, Martin?
If I can figure out how to do it, yeah.
Best we can. And as you'll see, if you go to the website, tradsong.org, and click on TSF meetings, it'll give you details, how to book, and so on. And it is free. And the morning will be a general sort of cut version of my day school. So it'll be a sort of half-day school on, folk song in England, basically. So it'll be general introductory stuff. And then the afternoon we'll have 3 or 4 presentations specifically on Gloucester, Wiltshire sort of area. So it'll be a great day, and it'll be good to see you all in person if we can. So that's on May the 13th. And then 4th of June, we'll be back with our monthly Zoom meetings. And then from then on, we haven't set dates, but we will obviously be doing other things. And just to flag it up, we are hoping that they're going to have a major conference next June-ish on reassessing the early collectors and their role, and what we think of them and what we don't think of them, and that sort of thing. A joint conference with FDIS. That's not yet fixed, but that's what we're hoping for. So that's the coming year. Where are we? Oh, we've still got a few more minutes. Does anybody like to say anything? We're still in our general meeting mode.
Could I just say, Steve, I forgot to mention YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Because we do now have all of our TSF online meetings up there.
Even the first ones that were all a bit tentative. And
even the first ones
yes,
that were all a bit tentative.
Yes.
So they're all up there. People do watch them afterwards. The numbers seem to be varying. Some of them attract a few tens. Our highest number is 1,371 viewings, but that's actually for one of the spare videos. Doc's presentation inevitably got quite a lot, a few hundred, but I'm pleased to be the record holder at the moment.
I'm sure that's just you signing on every day.
Oh yeah, that would be it.
That would be it. Margaret, you got your hand up. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, everyone. Yes, just to thank you all. Actually, I have thoroughly enjoyed the forum. It's opened so many new doors and pages, everything. And although I think it is a great idea to return in person, I hope you will continue the occasional Zoom for the people who live in far-flung places. It would be a 4-day voyage to get to Gloucester for somebody like me.
Yes, thank you, Margaret. Yes, we do plan to do both the in-persons and the Zooms.
I've got an awfully good idea. You could have one in Perthshire.
Why not?
Highland Perthshire, preferably.
Why not? We're all going to stay at Margaret's, okay, everybody?
Yes, that's fine. Actually, there's the ideal accommodation. There's lots of it all around here.
Yeah.
Including
Okay.
wigwams, I can tell you. In case you don't believe me, check it out. Comedy Croft wigwams, glamping.
Oh, I'm not sure that we're ready. The TSF Glamping Association.
Well, then there's plenty of room in the house. There you go. Look, just look, there's a big kitchen. A good 40 feet of it. You can come all here. That's fine. And I've got 40 unmatching cups, so you're just fine.
Thank you, Margaret. Thanks very much. Derek's got his hand up.
Sorry, could you just repeat those dates?
Which ones?
Well, first of all, the next TSF meeting, which I hadn't got.
The next Zoom meeting then is June the 4th.
Right, okay, I didn't have that in my diary.
And
when is the joint conference?
we don't, as I said, we don't know yet. It's still being discussed, but we're hoping that it will be sometime around early July, something like that. Spring to summer.
2024.
2024. Yes,
Right,
that's right.
okay.
Next year. So don't go putting it in the diaries yet, but just put it in the back of your minds. We'll be announcing it soon, I hope. Anybody else want to say anything? No. Okay. Shall we have a 5-minute break then before the meeting starts? Because some people might be joining us at 4 o'clock. Is that all right, Martin?
Yeah, they can talk to each other.
You may talk to each other. Are you going to stop the recording?
Yeah, I could do, couldn't I?
Yeah, just